Alright guys, we have some good and some bad news. Good news, we finally found something we've been looking for. Bad news, it's quite a drive away.
Yeah, so we've been looking at trucks a lot here lately for like a good couple of months, and we found one at one point that we really liked. It was actually right before the yard sale, but we were trying to hold off till after the yard sale just because the yard sale did have us so busy at that time. Unfortunately, it disappeared right while we were doing the yard sale. So we had to go back to the drawing board and kind of look over trucks. August is right around the corner, and we're about to be going to get the camper in August. It's mid-July, so we're having to take some of our wants, you know, little like cheesy, like, ooh, I want this little fancy feature, and kind of bring them down a little bit to what's on the market. We still have standards. We still have certain things that we would like.
Some of our requirements are, because of the motorcycles, we want an 8-foot bed. That way we can completely close the tailgate, everything be trapped in there, nice and tight, secure for transport. We also need to make sure we have room for our fur babies in the back seat. So that means we need a full-size cab. And I'm not a diesel mechanic, never worked on a diesel, not really familiar with it, it's just not where I feel comfortable. So limiting our options even more down to gas, 4-wheel drive because we don't know where we're gonna go in life. Our options are getting really narrow, and our budget isn't unlimited. So we finally found something that hits all the requirements, and although it may not have necessarily 8 cup holders up front, we think we can live with it, as long as it's still there and it is as good as we're hoping it will be.
Speaking of it still being there, we still have to make the phone call before we decide to make this drive out to go look at it.
Smart idea.
So let's go ahead and give them a call, make sure they still have it, and we'll go from there. Hi, I was curious about a truck that I seen for sale there. It would be a blue Ford F-250. I believe it's a 2013. Yeah, I figured I'd check before I drove all the way out there, so. We're thinking 2 to 3 o'clock.
We'll be there. All
right, thank you so much. All right, bye. So exciting news, the truck is there. So we need to really get going.
So let's go.
This is a 2013 Ford F-250 Super Duty. We took the afternoon to thoroughly look it over and test drive it. It is a used vehicle, so it's not perfect. But we love this truck. It drives well, it's clean, and it checks a lot of our boxes. We did end up buying the truck, but unfortunately overlooked one major detail. We thought it had an 8-foot bed when we came to look at it, and never actually took the time to measure it. Come to find out, it's actually a 6.5-foot bed. We think we may still be able to fit the bikes, but we'll save that for another video.
So as Shannon said, we got really excited and overlooked the size of the bed. But some things we didn't overlook were the passenger side mirror, for instance. It's a little banged up, and honestly, we're probably just gonna replace it. Luckily, it's only 3 bolts and a wire, so it shouldn't be too hard. Also, the seats have a little bit of wear and tear. That's not to be unexpected, it's 10 years old. We're probably just gonna throw a seat cover on it though, to be honest. It's also missing some floor mats, but again, not really a big deal for us. we're gonna replace them anyway with aftermarket ones. This just saves us a step. Something that is missing though, which is a little inconvenient, is the running boards, even for me. But this just gives us a chance to really customize the truck to look the way we want it to look, or have the features we want. So all in all, pretty happy with it. So it's been about a month since we actually bought the truck. And honestly, as time goes on, I think we get happier with it. Every day we find a new feature, or a new way to utilize a feature that kind of suits us just a little bit better. Like this trip we're about to take, we decided to use the pockets inside the door to hide little snacks in.
Yeah, that was my idea. I couldn't help it. There were just these 2 rows of slots that just look perfect to like just slip your bags into, be able to just pick them out and eat. Because of course, you know, you gotta have road snacks. Obviously, we've really been enjoying the truck. It's been a great drive. Like, it drives so nicely. And honestly, the best part about it is this is the last major purchase on our journey. Like, we're about to go get the camper here very shortly.
We just got to bring it back home, and this is the key to doing that. It's the ticket. It's so hard to convey how important this was the last step and how big of a step it actually was.
Now that we've talked about the truck and showed off the truck and are really proud of it, let's talk a little bit about Kearney Motorsports, because it was a really great time there and the people there were really great as well. Starting with the dealership itself, it may have been small. I mean, it's a satellite location from the main location, but man, they use that space efficiently there.
Absolutely. So the lot actually ends up being an old bank, like a drive-through bank. And it's really cool to me how they actually utilize it efficiently. Like, not just the space and how they packed the trucks in there, because there's like 50 trucks on the lot, which is impressive in itself. But they also utilize like the safe for paperwork and stuff. I thought that was really cool. The safe is in the main showroom, and I thought that was really cool too, because I kind of like lock sport and lock picking stuff. And I was kind of gushing over that a little too hard.
Aside from that, the main area inside of the building is very clean. It looks so nice in there.
Absolutely.
Like, I was surprised when I walked in. I'm like, oh, this is nice.
They even had a car in there. It looked awesome.
Oh yeah, I was checking out that car. Unfortunately, that doesn't go along with what we're trying to do here, so.
But you can still admire beauty.
I can still admire it. Moving on from the actual building itself, the people. The most important part, the people.
I want to give a huge shout out to people, for sure. So the first person we ended up talking to inadvertently ended up being the finance manager, Katie, and that happened with a phone call with you.
I called in to see if the truck was still there. She was the one you saw me on the phone with at the beginning of the video. She's a super, super, super sweet lady. I don't know how many more supers I need, I guess.
She needs all of them. She was really awesome.
She was awesome. And honestly, she did a really good job giving us a warranty that really suits what we're going for.
Yeah, absolutely. We couldn't have tailored this warranty to us any better if we tried. She definitely understood the assignment, and she did awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess you can't really finance a deal without having a salesperson to work with. So our sales rep or a salesperson ended up being Dylan. Huge shout out to him as well, because he was patient. Like, I can't explain how patient.
Yeah, like he stood there while Bam went around the truck all over it and even underneath it.
But I'm like poking a head under, but like literally on the ground, crawling underneath it like a mechanic, because I wanted to make sure it was good, right? And it was, as far as we can tell now, and as far as professional mechanics that checked it out afterwards, said it is good to go.
Yeah.
And that makes us so excited.
Yeah, he even gave us both the chance to both take a test ride, so that was cool too.
Very professional, very cool.
Very relatable too.
Absolutely.
Great guy. The next 2 people we want to give a shout out to aren't necessarily people who helped us get the truck.
But they were really cool. And they were really helpful with suggestions even. Like Spencer. He wasn't really doing our deal, but he was moving trucks around at the time and ended up seeing the camera and got a little curious. And so we kind of talked for a while, told him about the bikes and just kind of what our plans were in the future, and he seemed really super stoked. And he ended up suggesting a place to go and visit, perhaps with the bikes, or we're thinking, with the RV as like a first outing where it's still kind of close to home in case something goes wrong, but far enough away to really get the sense of how it's really going to be.
Yeah. So after that, we ended up talking to both Spencer and Dylan about a place to eat, because obviously we weren't locals and we love trying whatever the cuisine is when we're outside of our normal areas.
Someplace you can't just go down the street to get anywhere. Something that is hyper local, that is really good.
While we were talking to them, their general manager ended up stepping out and talking to us as well. And he gave us 2 really great suggestions. unfortunately, we couldn't go to either one of them. We didn't realize it at the time, but when we did look at the time, it was getting late and we had to get back home to give Lucy her insulin. So
unfortunately, she takes the priority. Sorry, Mark. But we did save those places you recommended, and we checked them out on the websites, and reviews looked awesome and their menus looked awesome. So we're definitely gonna go there next time we're up in that area. One of them, not necessarily both together, because I don't think I can handle that much food.
we'll make 2 different occasions.
But I think that kind of rounds out everybody we worked with and talked to. And honestly, I think that was awesome. Like the whole crew did awesome.
Yeah, and honestly, if anybody lives in the area or just happens to be going through the area of Louisville, Jeffersontown area,
and you're looking for a vehicle,
go ahead and check them out. They will work with you, and they've got a really good selection. And just if my truck or our truck, sorry, only child syndrome here. If our truck is anything to go by, it's good stuff.
They have product to stand by, and they actually take care of it. Like we said, there's a satellite location there, but they have another location that actually goes through the vehicles and make sure that they're ready for the road. And I have trust issues, which is why I had it checked out by professional mechanics here, and they have the good go ahead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I couldn't find it and they couldn't find it, there's probably nothing to find.
Yeah.
So
again, we're really happy about the truck. Thank you guys out there at Kearney Motorsports. You guys were all great, and gal. All of you were amazing.
Absolutely.
Aside from that,
I guess there's nothing else really to be said except for if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button.
And if you want to see more of this journey of us crazy kids going out and
transitioning into this lifestyle
of RV life from our wonderful home,
full of adventure and intrigue,
yeah,
go ahead and get subscribed. It costs nothing, and it's just a big red button down there.
Yeah. Aside from that, I guess we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
So, I guess till then, see ya.
Bye.
I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep